following guidance from the International Energy Agency, which said Asia and Oceania would be prioritized. The move comes as Japan relies on the Middle East for 95% of its oil imports, aiming to stabilize energy supply and global markets. All right, viewers, that's the latest coming in from Japan. Japan, of course, has begun the strategic release of its oil reserves. I want to come to you here, General Sehgal. How much do you think Japan is going to be affected, given that 90% of its supplies come from the Middle East, and how long can it survive with these reserves?
Japan is affected very, very badly. We are very fortunate that our effect on us is virtually negligible vis-a-vis Japan. China also is affected, but China has got reserves. As far as oil and gas is concerned, they have reserves of more than 4 months. And as far as gas is concerned, they've got reserves of 40 days. They will be in a crisis situation only after 40 days. India has a reserves of almost for 25 days, and with the refineries, there's another reserve for about 10 days. In the meantime, also India is, like Shruti said, India tied up with Canada, India is tied up with Australia, India is tied up with America, but that will take a much longer time. However, as far as Middle East is concerned, Donald Trump has virtually raised his hands. The strongest navy in the world has raised its hand by saying that we are not in a position to provide escorts at all. They said now the consumers must get together and ensure that the Strait of Hormuz is kept open. But most of the consumers have either kept quiet or not participated. But China and UK have categorically stated that they are under no circumstances will they send their ships, because trying to force the Strait of Hormuz open would be risking their destroyers in a very major way. A $4 billion or $3 billion destroyer will be wiped out in a matter of seconds. Iran has got kamikaze drones, they've got missiles, they've got fast attack boats, and they've also got 6,000 mines, which they can effectively use to make sure that nothing passes without theirs. Now, what is worrying is that Israel is beginning to attack the oil and gas installations in Iran, so that they want to ensure that there is no money available with whatsoever. The main source of money or revenue for Iran is a sale of oil and gas. And if the money is blocked, it affects the IRGC and affects all the proxies that they support. Under these circumstances, Americans are very annoyed with them. They do not want them to attack the Iranian oil and gas installations and the pipelines. But Israel is doing exactly the same. As a consequence of that, Iran is now attacking all the GCC countries' oil and gas installations in a very major way, in the pipelines. They want America to come under increasing pressure from the rest of the world and from people from within America. Even in America, the oil and gas prices have risen by almost 25%. When the war began, it was about $2.75 a gallon, not gone to $3.70. And it is something that the American people are against. The popular rating, the rating of how the war is being conducted by Donald Trump has come down to about 30%. While the Israelis are very clear as to what is it that they want to achieve in this war, as far as America is concerned, they are absolutely ditching. They don't seem to have a strategy. They don't seem to have an end game. They don't seem to have a clear-cut military or political aim. Under these circumstances, rest of the world, even if the Strait of Hormuz gets opened after about 10-15 days, there will be virtually no oil and gas available in the Middle East for quite some time. Till such time, the oil installations, the pipelines are repaired and restored. It will take months and months for doing that. Under these circumstances, the world is going to face this crisis in a very major way, and India is bound to be affected to an extent that as of now we are unable to monitor. But the effect is going to be effect on India as well, but India is going to be managing it much better than any other country anywhere in the world.
All right.